Good morning, Hillman Cancer Center. Happy Wednesday to you, and welcome to Cooking for Cancer and Chronic Disease. I'm Danielle Petrina, the project manager, and this is Angela Zaccanini, our registered dietitian, with a focus on lifestyle nutrition. We are part of the Wellness and Integrative Oncology program located on the third floor of Hillman Cancer Center. Yes, that's right. We're right in the patient setting, bringing you a delicious meal today. So today we are cooking up for you ground turkey and veggies, which doesn't sound like super special, but I think it's just another way to make something easy and delicious for you.
Yep.
So, Ange, kick us off.
Okay. So this particular recipe is from Skinny Taste, and I'm sure you've either saw the cookbook or went on the blog or the website before. But this is a very actual low calorie, low carb, but high protein recipe. And I know a lot of my patients are looking for that, and just people in general are looking for those type of recipes. So this one in particular. Also, I always get questions about different protein sources, and I think ground turkey is a great option to kind of get into your routine. It is a lean meat. It is not a red meat. So again, you're getting the benefit there. Now, this particular recipe is ground turkey made with zucchini, corn, black beans, and tomato. So
And onions. All the onions.
And onions, lots of it. Excuse me. I had a tickle in my throat.
Don't get all choked up over it. Yeah.
Okay. It's like the more I was talking, I was like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
I know. I mean, we keep it natural here.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so I already started browning the turkey. We're actually doubling the recipe because we're all eating today. But we have 2 pounds of ground turkey already cooked in this big pot. Now,
Let me do a little showcase on
sure,
that, Ange.
if you're making this at home, you can definitely use a skillet. The recipe only calls for 1 pound.
Perfect.
But this is 2 pounds, and we added a little bit of salt and cumin. So
That looks great, Ange.
your next step, once you have your turkey completely browned, you're going to want to move it all to one side and add the onion.
That sounded real confident.
This is what happens when,
Onion.
yes, onion.
Okay,
If you want to add the
I'll do
onion
it.
for me, and then a little jar of tomato paste.
Yeah. That's
And
interesting.
again,
I never saw that it's like made
half and half?
Yeah. Okay.
Keep in mind, we are like tripling this recipe,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of onion, but all right, so we're going to add this tomato
It's good for you.
paste.
Again, another staple item here that's from your pantry. That's what's so nice. This is a great meal, especially if you got to get rid of some veggies.
Yeah.
So you obviously don't have to use these same veggies.
Right.
Black bean, canned corn, all of those both can. So again, some pantry staple items to add some color to all of that.
Definitely a super simple option. And if you don't like canned corn, you can of course use frozen in this recipe if you prefer that. I know a lot of people actually like the taste of frozen corn better than canned.
Yeah,
I don't really have a preference. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do though drain both the canned corn and the black beans and then rinse it in a colander just to remove any excess salt. I try to also purchase no added salt or low sodium canned options just for a little bit more benefit there. Okay, so we're gonna have these cook.
Am I mixing this all up?
Mix it all up together.
Even the meat?
Yep. You want the onions to cook down a little bit, probably about a minute or so before you add your other ingredients. So the other ingredients are as follows: the black bean, corn, a tomato, jalapeno pepper. Of course, if you aren't into spice, you can omit that. And then garlic, cilantro, and then we are going to add a little bit of water to kind of get it all blended together.
Yeah.
Now, I make a recipe similar to this at home, but I typically just use ground turkey, salt, pepper, and legit whatever veggies I have.
Yeah.
I can add broccoli. I love adding the black beans actually.
I
just
do
for
too,
an
yeah.
added fiber and protein content. And I also use, instead of having fresh tomatoes, if you don't have fresh tomatoes, I use can of diced tomatoes.
Yeah.
I have those always in my pantry.
Yeah.
Super
For
simple
sure.
and a good staple to have.
What else, Ange? What am I doing next?
So we're going to cook those down for about a minute, and then I have the black beans and corn drained, so we're going to add those next.
Okay. I'm surprised that they're not cooking the zucchini faster.
The zucchini is actually the last part, but that's when you're going to add a lid and have it kind of steam
Simmer.
all together.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Exciting.
Now, to give you some of the nutrition content behind this, one serving is 1.5 cups, which we'll show you later what that actually looks like, but only 266 calories, 22 grams of carbohydrates, but 28 grams of protein.
Wow.
I mean, I think that's super nutrient dense. That's very high in protein. 22 carbs, that's like 1.5 serving or 1.5 carb choices if you have to count your carbohydrates. And that's barely anything. This is super low calorie, super high protein, and just an overall great dinner rotator.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a great meal to cook ahead of time and have for like a couple days in advance. I would certainly throw this over some rice.
Yeah.
Even maybe like a little bit of like shredded lettuce, and you could kind of make
Maybe
this
like
a little bit in taco.
salad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So something just to like keep it, like this is so easy. I kind of love it, and just bringing us back to some simplicity.
Yeah.
And how good simplicity is for you know?
What's really nice about this too is if you wanted to keep it low carb and cut out the rice or sort of like a grain, it has 6.5 grams of fiber per serving. So this is actually a filling meal. Like you always think, okay, I have to add
a rice,
a carb,
right.
I have to add potatoes, I have to add rice. You really don't with this particular recipe. The vegetables that you're adding, the protein sources, the beans.
Yeah.
That's what's going to cause some,
Fill.
stability and
Make you feel
fullness.
full.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to add the corn and black beans as we have this ginormous colander.
I don't even know if we're gonna fit all this in here. Okay.
And this is why we're not using a skillet, because there'd be no way it would all fit.
But this is kind of nice if you're serving a lot of people. Put it all in one pan. It's a one-pan meal.
Yep.
Is this a part of Skinny Taste, like one-pan meal too?
I don't know.
Oh, or one pot, whatever.
That's
they
a
also
good-
do a nice little cookbook about that. If you know.
It does say this quick one-pot ground turkey skillet. Yeah.
So that's nice too.
Yeah.
Hey, Ange, I'm gonna flip the view. If you want to tilt the pot.
Okay.
Just to kind of show our audience what that's starting to cook up to be. Yeah, great. So you can see all those colors. It's beautiful.
Yep.
That corn always really adds. Thank you, Ange.
Yep. And now, so we have our corn and black beans added. Now we're gonna add the tomato, which we actually did have a fresh tomato. Again, a can of diced tomatoes is just as nutrient dense. Of course, if you have a ton of tomatoes left from your garden, use those for sure. All right, so we have our tomatoes, again, just another added color. Okay,
Cool.
and then we're going to add the jalapeno peppers, and then I'm going to add just a spoonful of garlic.
That jalapeno is really pretty too.
Yeah, all the colors in this are just great. The garlic, and then of course fresh cilantro. So if you're not a big cilantro fan, you can omit it.
It's so funny.
Take it or leave it.
I saw this like on. We should probably just keep it on the side.
Yeah,
what do you think?
People can add
I just
it
saw
as
like a
topper.
meme. It's like I would give anything to have the gene that doesn't make cilantro taste like soap.
Soap, exactly. I know. Yeah, I feel like people either love it or hate it. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent.
Me too. I don't really feel like, oh my gosh,
don't
this really
hate
needs
it.
cilantro, you know?
But to be honest with you, to me, it takes over. So if there is too much cilantro, I literally only taste that.
I'm going to do another quick camera shot. If you will tilt that
It's
for
getting
me,
heavy.
Ange. It is. And it's starting, you can, oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That looks great. I hope it's awesome.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Okay, so the final step, of course, we added the garlic, and now we just want to add some water. So because we are doubling this recipe, it actually calls for a 1/4 cup of water. We're going to just use maybe a half. I'll see what it looks like.
Okay.
And then add more. You almost consider this like a chili, you know?
Oh, Ange, that's a really good point. I mean, you could basically just add some tomato sauce.
Yeah.
And you're about there, you know, and maybe a little bit more seasoning.
Yeah. And I think, exactly, if you use the tomato sauce with the tomato paste and kind of give it a little bit of a thicker
And believe it or
broth.
not, you know, football season's around the corner.
Yeah.
Chili is also there too. That's also like a nice crock pot. I don't know though, crock pot and chili, I feel like it never tastes like anything when I do it.
Really?
Yes, like I don't know.
I wonder why.
I don't know. And I put in a ton of seasoning. So, all right, last and final product here is the
Just so we can get that cooking
zucchini.
down.
Oof,
We
that's
almost need
big
a bigger pot.
I know.
Okay.
I'm getting in here, Ange.
Yep. Mix that baby all around. And we're going to turn up that heat. Maybe not.
I know.
I hear it bubbling under
like,
there.
It's sizzling. It does its job. Okay, just trying to get some of this to the bottom. It'll cook a little better.
And you know what we're topping with this? That Tabasco sauce.
I think I can't. Like it's an emotional conversation for me.
I mean,
So,
this stuff, wait.
my uncle actually introduced this to me. It's a Tabasco sauce that they sell or that they have at Chipotle, but it is Tabasco Chipotle flavor.
Yeah.
If you like spicy stuff, you
This
can
is
find
it.
this at Target, Walmart, anything. It is.
I literally never taste anything better.
No. We're obviously very spicy around here in
Yeah,
personality and in want for taste.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind, obviously, if you're not. And let's talk a little bit about our cancer population, if they're having some mouth sores, some taste issues.
Yeah,
Because this is a little bit not pleasant, I would imagine, for mouth.
Mouth
Yeah.
sores, especially if you're adding the spice, absolutely not. So you
Yeah.
definitely want to omit the jalapeno, any added hot sauce, anything like that. You might even want to omit like the cumin or any sort of spice added to it that can enhance
Do we need to
some
put
of
the
that.
cumin in?
Yeah, we'll add that and some salt.
okay.
Just to finish off the flavoring. But it is like a soft. So if you are having difficulty chewing or swallowing, this is actually a good option. You're using ground meats. And then, of course, the veggies should be well cooked to a point where they're so soft that it's easy to chew. I'm like, is my mic still on?
I know, right?
Chew and swallow.
And then for taste, this is great for taste, right?
For
Because
sure.
spice, a little bit of salt, that's
Yeah,
very
you're getting
helpful.
all kinds of flavors
Okay.
from across the board there. And I always say, if you feel like the taste is bland, add more herbs. That's when you're like, add all the cilantro because I don't
know.
even taste it.
Right.
Add the spices, add more salt.
Yeah.
To give it flavor. I mean, if you're watching your salt, that's a whole different
Well,
story.
I was going to
but-
actually kind of put you on the spot with this, but like some of our heart healthy people,
Yeah.
how would we kind of cut this back a little bit? Because there is some sodium happening.
Yep.
Obviously, don't use the Tabasco
Right.
sauce.
So of course, no added salt, meaning like maybe omit the table salt whenever you're cooking. Use more herbs and spices, and also if you're buying canned goods, definitely do the no added salt. Rinse and drain any extra sodium. This recipe for one serving, it is about 500 milligrams, so
Okay.
you're getting on that higher end. But if you take away, like this doesn't say purchase the no added salt black beans,
Right.
So this is considering all the salt.
Yeah.
So if you remove all of that, you'll get a less product. Now,
great.
for our heart healthy population, this is actually a very lean, high protein recipe, and it is relatively heart healthy.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Let's take a look. See where we, because we are cooking fast here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And going back, it's diabetic friendly.
Oh, that's great, Ange.
If you're watching your
Yeah.
carbohydrates and your sugar content, you're barely getting 2 carb choices here. So you can actually pair it with rice to get a full, balanced, complete carbohydrate meal.
I think I'm going to make this for my family.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. We were like such, like chips and meat people like this. Like we would like make this into a taco thing, but I just like
be
love
so
the
good.
pretty
Yeah.
veggies on this. Like
Yeah.
it is gorgeous, like what that looks like. And like you kind of get veggies without even realize you're getting veggies.
Right.
So
And this actually refrigerates really well. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned, this is something you can make on the weekend, and if you double it like this, you'll have lunch for the entire week.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want the same thing every single day.
Well, you can
But-
change it up. You can
yeah.
put it over some lettuce. You can put it over some rice. You can do some different things like
That's a
that.
great point.
Also, just I was going to say something really smart.
Did it just go
Right
really?
out the window.
Yeah, you were like on a roll.
I was on a roll. I was like, da-da-da,
What happened?
Now it's done. So hopefully it comes back.
Yeah.
But this is a great option, Ange. I think it's just really good to kind of go back to some simplicity. Oh, she's adding it.
Just to get that flavor in there.
Yeah.
Maybe want to add some salt.
I mean, always.
I mean, again, this is a very large portion, so if you want to flavor it, you got to definitely kick it up a little bit with
Yeah,
the
for sure.
spices. All right, so the way you can serve this, like she mentioned, over lettuce or a salad, you can add brown rice or quinoa or some sort of grain, or you can have it as is. We also talked about maybe adding a little bit of tomato sauce and making
it
fully into like a
chili.
Mexican chili.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really good. And of course, if you don't have some of these vegetables on hand, get creative. You can add spinach, you can add different greens, you can add broccoli. if you don't have zucchini or don't like zucchini. But I do think the main sources of this, the black beans, the corn, and the tomato, definitely is a good additive to the ground turkey.
I know what I was going to say. I sometimes feel when you refrigerate this and then take it back out, it has more flavor because it kind of all gets to like sink in together. So just keep that in mind.
Such a good point.
But if you're not a leftover person, definitely, you know, make it a one recipe for you.
Can you tell Danielle has been doing this now for like over a year?
Well, we both have.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, we both have.
She's stepping up. Last week you became the chef.
Oh, because
you were
that
like, get out of the
chickpea,
way.
yeah, I know. Hey, that chickpea, if you didn't get to look at that recipe, it's money. So good.
I sent a picture to my friends. I was like, chickpea cookie dough, and it's actually fire. And they were like, I'm a little skeptical. I'm like, try it.
I know.
It's
I mean,
so
I was
good.
too, because I was like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of that moment of like, what are they going to say? But it was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is a really nice way to like insert like something sweet.
Yeah.
But like,
I took a spoonful mid-afternoon, and I was like, that's all I needed.
I know.
It was literally a spoonful.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed.
just the little to like spice it up, feel good about it, you know.
Okay.
We
good?
We boiling?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
Oh, you kicked that up. I didn't even see you do that. Oh, like, wow. She's a...
And then I'm going to actually show you what a serving and
Of course you wore a white shirt today. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1.5.
1.5? All right.
Yep. 1.5 cups, remember, 266 calories, 22.5 grams of carbs, 28 grams of protein.
And then we'll do the half.
I mean, that to me looks like a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, so you're going to get filled up on this, which is great.
Right.
Which we want you to
All
be.
that fiber and protein.
Hey, that's lovely.
Look at that.
That's beautiful.
And these are big size bowls. These aren't tiny.
Yeah. No, they're not. I mean, let me shoot the camera over that way, Ange. Give me a second because it's been a minute. Okay. All right, Ange, move it up a little bit and move that other bowl out of the way. And maybe a couple more inches up, tilt it. Look at that.
This way?
Yep, you're perfect. So that's beautiful. I mean, that's great. That's filling. If you have a problem with portion like myself,
Yeah.
you might just want to measure it.
I was going to say, it's actually
nothing wrong
good
with
to
that.
see what a serving is.
It is, because like you can guess what that looks like, and then you'll start to like get used to that
Yeah.
and being like, oh, actually, like I know what that feels like now. So
Yeah.
what a great recipe. Just a reminder, everybody, if you are not on our email list, I'm throwing up Ange's email here at the bottom. So we just send a weekly email. It includes our YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It includes the recipe for the week, and then we would love to hear your feedback.
Yes.
So there's a link there to a survey. We've been getting some great feedback, and we're getting ready to plan our September and October recipes. So we would love to hear from you if there's something
believe it.
specific. I know.
I got to get on that.
Pumpkin, everything. So if you hear if there's something in particular, please let us know. And then next week we are cooking pistachio oat squares. Am I making that up?
I have no idea. So.
She's like, I'm not even actually talking. I'm not even here, so I don't care. No, Ange is here. Don't like not tune in. I promise. She is going to be here. So I was right. Pistachio oat squares.
So another nutrient-dense snack.
Yeah.
Or even a breakfast grab and go.
Yeah, I love that some of the snacks can be snack, dessert,
Interchangeable.
breakfast. So that's kind of really nice. Ange does a great job of listening to you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy this beautiful weather and your weekend. And we will see you back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Take care.
See you then.